Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector, is a collective or general reading, so just take what works for you and leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. My goal is to provide you with powerful information. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have the moon. The moon is coming in a lot in the readings right now because we have these two moon eclipses. One is the new moon in Aquarius on the 17th of February, and also the full moon coming up on March 3rd. That energy is also a full lunar eclipse. And so the moon talks about being highly intuitive, being able to climb out of the emotional waters to be able to stay on your designated path, your divine path. This can require having to have a lot of courage at times. This little lobster is having to climb out of the water and pass by this domestic dog and this wolf. Both of them are howling at the moon, and this represents your domestic energy as well as taking a walk on the wild side and being able to stay in between those two pillars to stay on your path. This is talking about the energy of the sun, the full moon, and the new moon. And it's representing that eclipse energy. There was a solar eclipse on the 17th, and the lunar eclipse is on the 3rd of March coming up. Eclipse energy will have a significant effect on everybody's energy. We're seeing it in the planet right now. A lot of that energy coming out like endings and and like totally like different path, different course in life, basically, because of the eclipses. They have significant change. They can cause for about 6 months. So it's not necessarily a sudden change, but it is a significant change. Okay, we have the energy of the magician. The magician is the first card that the Fool comes across in the tarot. On their journey, it might take them a while to get to this card, but it's the first card. It's number 1 after the 0 point. And this is talking about as above, so below, being able to, this represents an energetic upgrade in your energy. This is infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond, tools at your disposal, and the ability to take your thoughts and your ideas and bring those down to earth to create this beautiful garden and add to the beauty of the planet. And so this energy is saying that you're ready for an energetic upgrade in your life. And perhaps this eclipse season is going to bring in a totally different energy for you. We have the King of Wands coming in. The King of Wands is representing one of the 4 kings in the minor arcana, and his element is the element of fire, represented by this wand. The wand is made of wood because the wood fuels the passion for the fire to grow. And also, it's from a tree, so it represents the deep roots of the ancestors as well as the offshoots representing descendants. The king is considered the sexiest king of the 4 in the tarot. He's the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. You would forgive him anything because he's so charming and likable, and people enjoy being in his company. He's a visionary, so he loves to tackle new projects and learn as he goes kind of energy. Very successful. And, quite often he can be the center of the party, like someone that everybody enjoys. He has a very likable energy about him. And the salamander's in a circle, and the line on the back of his throne here, and this little salamander running across here, represent protection from fire. And one thing I've noticed here is we have the energy of the protection from fire. It almost looks like a person here with the eyes and then smoke coming out of the nose and the mouth. So this could just mean that, the king is smoking hot, or it can mean where there's smoke, there's fire. All right, we have the energy of, so this could be your energy. The king, remember that the characters in the tarot are representative of archetypes. So the king could be a male or a female in their masculine energy. And the sun card represents God's energy, and it's the happiest card in the deck. So when this shows up in a deck, it reflects its light on all of the cards, bringing out the truth and happiness to the situation. The sunflowers turn to face the sun, and this represents this young child is on their, it's you when you were young, brought into the earth, and you're on your destined path. You are destined to be happy, fearless on your journey. Look at this child, has no fear at all on this pony, and is totally, no reins, just and carrying this heavy banner with ease, because this is meant for them. This is their destined path, to be a happy child of God on the planet. We have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, happiness, in the abundance in the 3D. You could have all the money in the world, and that is represented here, but it wouldn't necessarily mean that you're living the lifestyle that you want to live and are happy in the lifestyle. This card is actually the only card out of all the Pentacles where the person is actually working on the physical coin and very focused. So this is about making money. And this can represent a project that you have begun, and you have one done and you're working on the second one, and you have 6 to go. Or you've already completed 6 and you're on the 7th and only have 1 left, and then the project will be finished. You would know where you are in your process here. This is talking about the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is generally the pages would work for the king and queen in the palace, and they would be about 7 to 14 when they started, depending on the tasks that they would be assigned. And so the energy was about mostly delivering communication back and forth between people in the palace walls, and also doing small tasks and kind of learning the ropes, so that when they turned 21, if they were able to afford a horse, they might be considered for knighthood. They'll, acquiring those skills as they go. So this card represents some form of communication coming in. This again could be a male or a female in their masculine energy. The element that this page is representing is the element of the swords, which is about air. So it's about your thoughts, your mental intelligence, your ability to discipline your mind. Your mind should work for you, not against you. You should be in charge of your mind. And this energy, when I see this card, I quite often think of someone who's golfing. It feels like the same sort of stance. And he's the only one that is not totally focused on his element. And I feel he already has the thought, he knows the thought, and now he's looking away, representing that he understands this is a double-edged sword, and that to really have creative solutions to problems, you need to use your intuition as well as your intellect, so that you can apply the two together, your logic and your intuition, to come to creative solutions. So this is someone who is representing the energy of being able to think outside the box, being very innovative, very much like this energy of the king. So some communication is coming in. This golfing energy, I feel like it looks so much like someone about to, take a swing with the golf club. This energy, when you think about golf, it's a very mental sport. If you go out on the course in the very first hole, you have a major failure, and then from that point on, your game just goes downhill and you keep spiraling to have a worse and worse and worse game. Or do you step out in the next hole and have like a hole in one? It's that kind of energy, and I feel that's why a lot of politicians and business people, besides the fact that it's way nicer to be out in the golf course, there's some beautiful courses out there, and being able to enjoy the day like that rather than in a conference hall or something like that. Golfing, you can really tell a lot about someone by the way they handle their game. Like, are they a good winner? Are they a good loser? do they throw that club, you know, after the first hole, and then you just see them spiraling, and you see they have a bad temper and they don't have the patience when they're under pressure? Can they handle the pressure? That's the kind of energy I feel that you can tell. I bet in 18 holes, someone that does a lot of golf would know exactly whether or not they want to hire that person or not. So it's that type of energy of being disciplined in your mind. The communication coming in could be by email or text, or it could be a phone call, a letter in the mail. It could be something you see on social media, or someone messages you on social media. You go to an event that you saw there and you run into someone, and they're the perfect person for your situation. That kind of energy. Also the news, if you watch the news for a few minutes a day even, you can get a pretty good idea of the main, major traumas basically these days of, what's happening in the world. There's some crazy, more than usual crazy energy out there, but this energy is very much eclipse energy. It's life altering, and we're seeing it. A lot of people that are, some of the most powerful people in the world that had a lot of money and all the resources have basically the choices they've made have led them into some very precarious situations. And because of the files being released, and there's over 3 million of them, and people are, every day there's something else that happens because of it. What is beautiful about it is we're starting to see justice. And then this is the card that comes in, the Devil card, and the Devil represents temptation. And it represents exactly that energy. Here, these very gifted people who have more money, are, like actors, actresses, people that are singers and really talented, musicians, and, we're actually seeing like royalty, like actual royalty, for the first time in almost over 3 centuries. Someone in the monarchy has actually been arrested. Now, he hasn't been charged as of yet, but every day it just seems to get worse and worse, and there's more energy coming out. And so all of these people that are affected by this, and all of the victims, it's just a lot. It's a lot that's coming in for the planet right now, but it is talking about this energy right here of being tempted to take shortcuts and take the, this route instead of going on your destined path as a child of God, choosing to sell your soul basically to have material gain. And so this energy, the Devil here is sitting, and these 2 lovers here are yoked to each other, and they're also chained to Saturn's box. And so Saturn's box is this energy of the temptation and the devil, and choosing to abuse your power, that kind of energy. The devil is hunched over this box, and he is in this position to represent like animal instinct. So this represents more an energy of lust than of love. And quite often you'll hear about people choosing to go with the, choosing to take the devil's path rather than God's path, so that they can accomplish their goals in what they think is going to be an easier way. And now we're seeing after sometimes generations of getting away with it, and even centuries of getting away with some energies, the justice is starting to come in. It's a weird justice too, like it's very, very awkward, but that's what we're beginning to see. And whenever this energy comes up, I always cover it, because the devil is an archetype here. It represents temptation. And so this energy, you're not going to get the truth from this energy. It's very manipulative. And so I always cover it with the next card up to see, okay, what minion does the devil send in to do the dirty work? What is it about? Or does God step in and cover you? And we have walking away. So this is your energy. So you may have been tempted at some point, or presented with being in this energy, being initiated in this energy, and you have walked away. And it's talking about, or someone has walked away from you because you did go for this energy. And so this is talking about the eclipse season again, the new moon and the full moon, just exactly what I was talking about beforehand. This is having like 8 cups of energy put into a love situation. And this is talking about someone who has put a lot of effort into someone that they love, or it could be, like this is generally, the cups represent romantic love, but it also could be love for other people, and it could be love for something you love to do or something you love to be, as I was talking about earlier. And so this energy is, this could represent walking away from God's plan and going with this energy, or it could represent walking away from this energy and not going with it. So we'll see. We have, yeah. This is someone who is really disappointed in the results that they're getting and wondering, how can I do things differently? Is there a way that I could get ahead faster? That's the kind of energy we have here. And this, you know, look at the 6 pentacles here. We have 6 pentacles here. And so this is almost like, you know, I'm on this pentacle and I have this one to go here. This is how many I have accomplished, and I don't see the benefit of what I've done here. And so there has to be a better way, and this person is thinking about walking away from all the work they've put in here and going in a different direction. So either that means you're going with or without, you know, for or against this energy. Is basically, this is the decision making. This is the moment of the decision making and the reasons for it. Being disappointed in the results as of now, and thinking there has to be a better way, for having put all this energy and my time and into something, and this is all I have from it. I have to figure out, do I want to take this and go down a different path, or do I want to continue on in a slightly different way and keep trying to make it work, or do I just want to do something totally different and that's more in alignment with what I want? And it looks like, glory hallelujah, my collective has chosen to go on a different path here. So on with the sun. So this is talking about not accepting the offer for some of you, and it could be accepting the offer for others and thinking that this is going to be a better path. So we're just going to keep an open mind here, and you'll know which side of this equation you're on. The Fool starts out his journey at the 0 point, and it's like a sunny journey, totally innocent. And he's got his little white dog. The white dog represents innocence. And just, you know, carefree on this path because, you know, they're the 0 point. They're just beginning a new cycle of energy. And this is talking about the very first card that they come across is supposed to be the Magician. And so that's the energy that's sitting here. Like, so being able to create whatever it is that you want in the world. Now, if you move this card to here, we would see that, you know, if this would be dark magic if you went with the devil, and it would be white if you went with with your designated path with God. This would be the energy. I feel like this is going to be one of those these readings that I have sometimes lately, which really talks about, you know, the eclipse energy is like the dark and the light, and the sun and the moon and the secrets and the truth and that kind of energy. And so I feel like this is going to be one of those readings where showing the differences, what can happen when you go on either a foolish path. Foolish is when you decide, okay, I'm going to take the shortcuts, I'm going to go with the devil. And foolhardy is when you go with God. So when you're going on a foolish path, you have expectations that you're going to do much better more quickly. And the thing is, expectations always create limitations. If you're going on the foolhardy journey, you're going to be in a position where you are actually can anticipate a good result, that you are probably going to come across a lot of challenges and probably going to have to put, you know, a little bit of elbow grease into it, that kind of energy. Justice will prevail in the end, though. That's the energy that we're seeing now. And the thing is, with justice, this is also talking about redemption from karma. Now, a lot of people think karma is, you know, punishment. But karma is really like, it's the cause and effect of your actions or inactions. So that can be directly because of what you say, do, you know, how you act. yourself. That's direct. Indirect would be what your ancestors before you have done, and maybe even what your descendants are doing now, and that brings down the whole line. So the karma is cause and effect from indirectly from the actions of people you're associated with or people that are in your bloodline. And then we have the karmic spaces, which any of us can fall into with ease. It's so easy to fall into a karmic space. Redemption from karma sometimes can clean up the entire bloodline, like a curse that's on the bloodline. And it's not unusual for ancestors to have crossed the veil and be on the other side, and they didn't clean up their own shift, and now their descendants have to do it for them. And so when that happens, it can create a lot of karma for the whole family, and kind of like it curses the family because it's harder to get ahead. Everything's more difficult. And so the choices that your ancestors make definitely do have an effect on you. And so this is justice coming in from the spiritual as well as the physical realm, and possibly clearing up some karma here. And we have, okay, so being on your destined path here, this is like the chariot represents a real balance within from your masculine and your feminine energy, being on your designated path. You notice again, there's no reins here. Totally free, because the chariot just tung, 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 it's like a tank. It takes you where you need to be, and you don't have to steer it. It's more like your destiny steers you as long as you stay in the sun, basically, and you choose that path to stay on your destined path. And then we have, and this also represents that it's coming in quickly, like it's already been. This is representing the energy coming from the spiritual realm and being manifested actually on the earth. We have the King of Cups coming in. So the King of Cups is considered to be the most emotionally available of all the cups. This represents the element of love, the cups of love. This is water energy. And so the King of Cups, the water in tarot represents emotions. And so the King of Cups is sitting on this really rough water. And this represents volatile emotions and a lot of chaos because of it. He's sitting on his throne and he's just totally calm. He has a cup of love that he wants to deliver to someone, but he is just waiting until the time is right, because right now, perhaps who he's sending it to is caught up in this chaos and this energy. His right foot is forward, which is representing just like this justice energy, that this energy is coming in. So this chariot is also, this is saying it's new. This is a lot of new energy. And so, and this is, again, the King of Cups is sitting on this destined path, and your work actually being recognized. That's the energy. So the King is considered of Cups is considered the most emotionally available, because he has mastered the art of being able to handle his emotions and not, give in to them and make, impulsive moves that can be really unhelpful. And here we have the Knight of Cups coming in. So this is the knight in shining armor from the romance novels. He's dressed to the nines, he's charming, and he's delivering a cup of love. And we are in now, on the 17th, when we had that, the new moon and the first eclipse, which was a solar eclipse. For a short period of time, the moon blocked out the energy of the earth. And that energy, we moved into the fiery horse energy. So a lot of times when the horse energies are coming up, it's representing being in this new, another new energy here. On the same day that we had the Aquarius new moon and we had the solar eclipse, we also had the very first day of the Chinese New Year, which follows the cycles of the moon rather than the Gregorian calendar. And this energy, as we moved from the year of the snake into the year of the fiery horse energy. And this is interesting because the magician also has an Ouroboros around his waist, which is snake biting its tail. And this is representing shedding the skin and letting go of anything that no longer serves you. So this, we're moving out of the year of the snake, and we have moved into the year of the fiery horse energy now instead. So this is a new energy, and it's very much like this King of Wands energy, visionary, setting high achievements, really having like a free-spirited, happy-go-lucky attitude, having an optimistic point of view, being able to, wanting to bring in new energy. And in matters of love, it's very passionate and heartfelt. Horses are all about emotion and heart as well. And this is, the danger of this energy is it can be very impulsive. And also the energy can be very, emotional, like hot-headed. And so you want to be really careful not to make impulsive moves right now, especially because in between these two eclipses, we can be hyper-focused on our weakest area in our life and, fixing that basically. And we can be like not seeing the whole picture. That's why right now it's important for people with all this information coming in, recognizing that some of this, of course, is going to be driven by the AI, and some of it is not going to be 100% true. And so making sure that you have the facts right and that you have done your research before making decisions, especially ones, big ones that will affect your life, having the facts basically. If you want to know more about the fiery horse energy, I have a playlist on my channel, and it's the new year in the Gregorian calendar, and then the new year for the fiery horse energy for each of the signs. I also have a Valentine's Day readings on that one. And then for the new moon and the full moon, if you want to know more about these, the past eclipse, that is already on my new moon, full moon playlist. And after today, I'm going to start working on the the full moon coming up on March 3rd, so that we can understand the energy of that better. It's a very significant time, and I think it would be really empowering for everybody. So I'm going to do a bonus reading for that, and that will be out in the next 3 or 4 days, basically. So we have judgment coming in. So yes, we're seeing that all over the planet. And it's really interesting because it is judgment coming in. I mean, there is justice coming in. It's weird how it's coming in. Sometimes it's coming in sideways, but we'll take it because some of this energy that's been going on for generations and even centuries is now being cleaned up, and it's being exposed, it's being brought to the light. So everyday people are starting to have a better understanding of what's really going on behind the scenes in the powerhouses of our nations, and what's in the world. And here we do have this energy of the ancestors coming out of their boxes. That they are thrilled. Yes, judgment is finally here. We've been waiting generations for this to come in. And they're so proud of you for being on your journey. I feel like most of my collective has made this choice. That's the energy that I am working towards bringing over to my channel. So, I mean, we all make mistakes as well. I'm not judging it. That's for God to do. And basically this is saying that's what's coming in. It's Judgment Day now. So the ancestors, this can represent energy, like they're literally coming out of their boxes and cheering because the trumpet is blowing. And the descendants are waving back and forth, and it's like, yahoo! The karma's being cleared, the curse is lifted, we're going to be able to move forward in a stronger way, the whole bloodline. We've been waiting for this is awesome. But at the same time, it can be very challenging because there could be skeletons coming out of the closet. And also Pandora's box has been opened, and once Pandora's box is open, there's no closing it. So it's kind of like you can't control that energy. And you can see that it's just incredible what's coming out. So then this starts a new cycle, and it's like being in a whole new world again once this judgment starts coming out. And that's what we're seeing. Like, this is a very significant time in the history of humanity. Like, we're going through some major times right now, and it's really good to understand that, because you may find that your emotions are feeling really volatile. right now. And, you know, especially during this eclipse season. And the eclipse season, as I said, it can be like about a 6-month process, because it's kind of like about seeing the truth and then being able to really make strong decisions. Okay, this is the direction I'm going in. And gradually over a 6-month period, when you look back, like a year later, you'll say, wow, I accomplished so much. You know, like, I can't believe all the changes I made and all the information that was coming out at that time and how scary it was, but I still stayed on my path and I moved forward. And you can be really proud of yourself if that's the outcome. This energy, we're talking, you know, a lot about judgment. So this judgment, when it comes in from the spiritual realm, we're going to see it in the courts as well. And that's the energy that we're under right now. We have this saying the judgment is coming in, and the chariot can sometimes represent law and order, the black and white cars of the police coming in to bring this judgment in, the justice, you know, the scales of justice being, and the sword of justice being wielded, and, you know, walking away from this energy. And being in this eclipse energy is really talking about that. So major changes can happen, a lot of illusions and secrets coming out, and moving forward in a real strong way here. And we have, especially on this energy here, we have this happy energy. You know, like it's going to be, yeah, here we have it again. So this card quite often represents an energy of someone who is standing on one horizon and looking over at the other. This looks like it could be sand, but it's actually water. There's ships sailing on this. So this is talking about your ships are sailing in and wanting to hop on one of them babies and go for an adventure. It's that kind of energy. And it's like you've crossed a portal into this energy. And quite often this card will represent an energy of leaving a couplehood and moving into being a single person again. And that might be because maybe your lover has made the other choice and you had to walk away, not just from the devil energy, but from your partner who decided to go that route. And that's the kind of energy I'm picking up here. So that made it, you know, that's even more challenging. Yeah, there's the heartbreak. So a heartbreaking decision had to be made regarding your partner or your lover, and you've parted. This is significantly saying there's generally this energy can be talking about, there's 3 swords in this person's heart. That's not good. But when you look at it again, you realize, hey, that heart is really quite big for the size, so it's more like pins or nails. So it maybe is something that you can recover from. It's very challenging. This is talking, there could have been a lot of gossip, a lot of harsh words, the kind of energy in matters of court of law. It could represent perjury. This could be slander, that kind of energy. A lot of people talking about your situation, and maybe you knew less about your situation than a lot of other people knew. And so it can be that kind of energy. And then we have it here again, there being 3 people instead of 2 people in the relationship. So that is giving the reason for walking away and moving forward. And it could be that this representing that your partner or your lover chose to be with the devil rather than to be with God, and that was when you walked away. Yeah, letting go of the burdens of that. So this card represents the energy of putting down burdens that no longer belong to you. And so this energy could be that this relationship was very full of a lot of burdens. These are, again, the actions that we take or the inactions, and then having to carry this heavy load. And so some of this load might be other people's actions and their burdens, and we're carrying them for them. And it's time to put them down and go on your designated path as decided here. And so this person can't see the forest for the trees because they're so caught up in details, maybe what's happening in their life, that they're, as I said, in this eclipse season, it can be really hard to see the big picture. So this is like, he can't even see that, how close he is to home. This is saying, don't quit now, keep going. Even if it's really challenging, there's possibilities hidden in this. And if you're thinking there's a better way, there probably is, and it's probably very possible you could put some of these wands down, and they're not yours to carry. And so put them down and let the person who those burdens belong to carry them instead of you, so that your load is lighter moving into this new energy. This is the Queen of Swords energy. So the Queen of Swords, she has learned the art of discernment through usually the hard way. That it's that kind of energy. And so she is sitting on her throne, and she is like, okay, I'm willing. She has her left hand out saying, I'm willing to talk to you. I'm willing to receive from you, but I want to know that you're going to come into me correct. She has her in her right hand, which is her action. She has a sword here, and she's ready to wield it if she needs to. So she's saying, you either come into me correct or don't even bother coming in, because off with your head. She's been there, she's done that, she's bought the t-shirt, she has the souvenir. She does not want to revisit the same old shift and is not willing to tolerate it. Her head is out of the clouds. She understands where she's going, what she wants. And if you're not part of that scenario, she doesn't want to have anything to do with you. And she can be considered to be quite cold, but it's because, you know, she may have started out in, a warmer energy, but now she's learned the art of discernment the hard way. And so she might still have a little bit of coldness to her. And if the King of Cups is thinking about presenting an offer to her, he understands this. He understands her emotions are still very volatile, and now is not the time, because she'll turn him down. But he can see the, the goodness of her heart, basically. Yes, and the Hierophant is coming in. So the Hierophant is talking about traditional structure from the spiritual realm being brought down to earth. So if you're a religious person, that can represent like the Pope, the Bishop, the Cardinals, that kind of energy of the church, bringing this justice down. If you're spiritual, it can represent you just go straight to source and you speak to God directly and without a middleman. And that energy is coming down. And it's also talking about the legal system again here. So we do have quite a few cards here that are talking about legalities here. Quite often, the energy of the Queen of Swords is someone who is divorced or separated. So that's being someone who's independent on their own. And we have the Empress energy coming in. So the Empress is talking about the energy of being in a place of powerful manifestation. And that's talking about the Empress is someone who has all the qualities of the four queens rolled into one. This is saying your energy, because you've stayed on your path and you've learned so much from this energy, that you're approaching this Empress energy. She's considered to be pregnant with possibility. So this is talking, you needed to learn discernment for sure as part of this energy to be in this Empress energy. The universe will not give you a huge reward if you're going to give it to the devil, basically, or if you're going to not be responsible with that energy. And so sometimes, I mean, we all have lessons to learn. You know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and this is about being on the path. That's why we're here. Like, we're here to clear the karma and be the best version of ourselves. That's our purpose. So as we go on our journey, if we are in this energy, we eventually can earn the title of the Empress, which is all four queens rolled into one. Someone that is able to attract with ease, to manifest, to bring whatever their special quality, their expertise to the planet to make it a better place. And that's when they're on their God-given path. This is talking, there's just been disappointment in the past, and this is confirming this energy. Look here, we have like the Three of Swords, we have the Three, and now we have the disappointment coming in. So we have these three cups representing that there was some sort of infidelity. Possibly, like, this is talking like 2 + 1. And this sometimes can even, with this card here, represent that possibly someone's pregnant. And it may be you, or it may be someone outside of the relationship. So not only were you disappointed by the actions of your lover, but now there could be a baby on the way that, and you're now on your own with that baby, or it could represent the third party is pregnant, that kind of energy. That would be the fourth gift being offered here. This can also represent having 3 relationships that have been unsuccessful and being really disappointed, and just not wanting to open your heart up again and take that risk because it was so disappointing and harmful and hurtful. You just started like, hey, if it's some more of the same old shift, I'm not interested. And then it can just be that third party energy, or you could have been with the same person and they've 3 times they've been done something that is totally unacceptable for you in the relationship, and they're asking for a 4th chance, and you're like, no, 3 strikes, you're out. It's that kind of energy. We have a shift disturber energy, and so this is talking about the shift disturber is a walking contradiction. This person has planted, this is, I feel, the thoughts of you and your partner here, and they chose to go on the other route from you. This is the energy of, like, he's looking back over his shoulder at the past, at these 2, and he's sneaking away with these. This could represent being in the energy of more than once, or more than one person having been cheating, and that could come up in this energy here. And he's a walking contradiction because he's looking over his shoulder all the time into the past, and yet he's walking forward on tiptoe, like sneaky, in broad daylight. So he's not a thief of the night, but he is someone that could quite possibly be also making money illegally. That's this energy here. This is white collar crime, brought in broad daylight, being a thief. And this is also talking about not watching where he's going while he's looking backwards and still moving forward. And look how he's holding the swords here. Very dangerous to hold swords like that. If he trips, it would be a disaster. But this is the kind of energy. It's kind of like devil may care attitude, literally. The devil might care, but the devil might not. You may find out the hard way that the devil seemed to care about you, but the devil's very manipulative. And once the devil has what the devil has from you, then you're considered a liability rather than an asset. And this card can also represent this energy of the 7-year itch, which came up in one of my readings a couple weeks ago. And this is like, it's a kind of a weird thing, that phenomena, and there's been a lot of studies done on it, and it's just talking about the statistics. And generally when people get divorced, it's either in the 1st year or it's in the 7th or 8th year, and it's called the 7-year itch. Interestingly, it doesn't just happen regarding people, or a relationship. It can also be if someone purchases a house in particular, and now they don't want to live there anymore, and they regret the decision 7 years later, and they're looking to sell it and get out of it. Or a business, maybe saying, oh, I always wanted to own a restaurant, and not realizing how much work it really is. And then oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Now it's become a burden. That can be representing putting burdens down here. So yeah, this is not the most stable energy to be in a relationship with this person. This is talking about the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles, this energy is very different from the Knight of Cups, because it's slow. And it's you can see his horse is at a standstill. Having said that, when the Knight shows up, his energy, the information he has, is usually a pretty solid offer, and it talks about having done the research, etc. Quite often, this will be information regarding coming in regarding generational wealth or a lot of money, lifestyle change energy, and it could be information coming in like we're seeing now. Where with all these emails and that, where, oh my goodness, there was all this money misappropriated, and people maybe maybe you have money coming to you that you didn't know because it was misappropriated. and you were left out in the cold from that energy. That's the heartbreak here. So this energy is talking about being left out in the cold, and generally it's talking about the tactics that we're seeing on the planet right now, where you know, there's people that are in this devil may care attitude, and they want to have what they want to have, and they'll use whatever tactics they can to do it, and they isolate people in you know, use tactics that they use, and they've become very good at it, and isolating people so that they can take the assets that they have or make money off them. In the cases we're seeing so much in the information coming in right now, this is about, you know, people being you know, slandered, and there's gossip and maybe blackmailed. It's all sorts of that kind of energy that we're seeing presented to us in the news right now. This is saying, this card quite often can mean there's a message coming in about your love life, but I feel this is talking about this past energy and wanting to correct this. There was something fishy in your love life. It smells. That's the kind of energy that's coming in, because you already have on your new journey an offer of new love coming in that is from the Knight of Cups, which is a solid offer of love that's been directed from the universe for staying on your path. So this is the energy more of the past relationship that you had here, and this person went with the devil energy, and you went on the other, and you knew there was something fishy in your relationship, but the information now is coming in, what was really going on here. Quite often this can represent isolating someone, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Catfishing someone, basically. This is talking about being in an energy of like just not being able to see a way out, having a very closed mind. This is talking about this or that. This or that energy can also be my way or the highway. So this is talking about needing to use your intuition as well as your logic to be able to have creative solutions to come out of these issues right now. And talking about like maybe you went to people that were in authority and you asked for help, and we're seeing that some of these victims have been begging for help for like like decades, and they're finally are starting to see like some justice coming in. And that's kind of like this energy of not knowing where to go. And this is saying the best thing you can do is, you know, meditate and go inward, because you're not going to be able to see the truth of the situation here. It's also talking about the energies of the moon here. So this energy can be very much this my way or the highway, representing this energy that's put you in this place where you don't know how to get out of it. And no one will help you. And you've gone to all the authority figures, and yeah, they're listening to you, but nobody's doing anything. And even now, the justice that we're seeing coming out is more when there's been money misappropriated than the victims of the crimes of passion that have been going on. And that energy, which I'm not going to get into because I'm sure you've all have heard about it. And so this is when the emperor, who is in a position of ultimate power and top performer and has been given, you know, the respect and authority, and that goes in the other direction and does not do his job and does not make sure authority is coming in. And then it's talking also about that coming in. So this is important to recognize. It's this or that, but it can also be kind of an in-between energy. And so what we're seeing now is some people that were in high positions really were not on the up and up, and others right now are doing their best to rectify that situation. And so it's you know, this is not a good time to place judgment on other people when you don't have the full story. And yeah, we're all rebels with a cause, basically. This is the fire horse energy for sure. And so we're in new times now. We're in a new year. We have a passion for discovery. A lot of people, it looked like people were gonna, let's just sweep this under the rug. Let's get over this. It's time to move on. And the community of the collective is saying, no way. We're not sweeping this under the rug. We want justice here. We want to know what answers are being represented here. And we are not going to rest until we know that there's some justice being served here. And so this energy now, from the past going up to the top of the pyramid and back down, we have we all have this ability when we start our journey to be in this energy where we can bring our best qualities into the picture and create a garden on earth rather than a hellhole like some of this energy has ended up. Judgment is coming in at this time, and we're seeing that. It's creating a total change in the world, and it's happening right around this time with this eclipse energy. So I feel this is going to be playing out for probably the next 6 months. We're going to be seeing this energy played out, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot of thievery going on. There's a lot of sneaky behavior. There's a lot of shifty business happening behind the scenes, and it's coming out a little bit by a little bit here. We have the energy of, it's taken a really long time, but basically with the pentacle there, I feel like it's, if you follow the money, you can generally see, some people will do anything for money, and that's basically, the devil is about material gain, not spiritual gain. And so this is an emperor. There's I feel like we have to, we can't be saying, oh, all the elites are they're all bad, all the politicians are bad and nobody cares. That's not true. And they're all not good either. So, we have to just use our judgment and rein in our emotions at this time. Focus on being the best version of yourself, getting your own shift done, and really doing your research before. Don't be in impulsive energy for this next year. The danger of being in this impulsive energy is really, like when a horse gets spooked and it runs, and it can go for miles, and it can be really dangerous if you're on that horse. You could fall off, you could hit your head, all sorts of things could happen. And this energy is saying, like, you need to be aware of that and stay calm. During these times. Getting all worked up is not going to improve the situation, and that's the plume on the Knight of Wands head is on the back there, is showing that he has a temper, but he's learned to rein it in because it's not going to benefit him to get, he's a rebel with a cause. And so he wants to use his energy to move forward in a productive way. This is talking about needing to use your logic and your intuition to come to creative solutions, so that you would notice like there was something fishy going on. And the Hierophant, this is a blessing in disguise coming for a lot of people. Energy that, like, things happening in your life where you were isolated. Sometimes rejection is God's protection. And so if you've been feeling left out of the family or left out of the loop, and kind of been put in isolation by God for a while, that was for your own protection. And then this is coming up, you have to learn that discernment, knowing what you will allow and what you won't allow into your life, so that you can go on a strong journey and not, and this is also saying, it may feel like you lost a lot here, but really, whatever, to build this kind of success is meaning that you've really learned a lot. And so once you know success, it's not like you're starting from scratch again. You're starting from an elevated position from where you were before, with all this information about how life really works. And so success will come to you a lot more easily than it did the first time. If you enjoyed this reading up to now and you feel like, okay, I know enough here, thank you for watching, and please give it a like and comment if you've enjoyed it, if you've gotten value from it. Consider subscribing if you resonate, and I will continue to clarify this for those of you who would like more clarity with my Oracle Tales from the Vector. Now, I started this back in 2007, and I am just working on bringing the deck out now. I completed all 64 paintings in 2020, and now I'm writing up the information. So I want to play with it a little bit here with all of you. You know, you may have noticed what's good on paper sometimes is not necessarily how it works in real life. And so in the description box below, I will put the numbers of these cards as they appear. The numbers on these cards represent the energy of, or the numbers of the paintings on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And so if you want to check them out, you'll know which ones to look for. And the energy coming out is this intuition. So, you know, using your insight, and again, that's saying at the times of the moon, it's a really intuitive time for all of us, but it's talking about using your third eye as well as the eyes that you have in your head, so that you can have like a better result. And this is about the magic that you have been given is to follow God's path, not the devil's path. So dark magic ends up biting you in the butt down the road. Even though it seems like you might be successful and you're getting away with it and your family's been getting away with it for generations, it looks like the time is now. Like if for the first time in the history, in over 300 years, like over 3 centuries, a member of the royal monarchy from England has been arrested. That's a huge, like that's big turnaround here. That's showing that things are moving in that way. And once a few of these elite people fall, they will sing like canaries. Just watch. There's no honor among thieves. Just watch what happens now. Like it'll be like, oh, now they implicate this person, and we're seeing it happening. That now, as one's arrested, now another one is. Keeping in mind that people are not, until they're proven guilty in a court of law. That's why it's so important to reserve judgment, because we don't have the full picture by any means right now. And there's a lot of, you know, AI out there and people like really trying to stir the pot and cause more confusion. That's the scotoma energy here. So scotoma is just a blind spot. So there's a lot of things we're not seeing right now, and reminding you that in this period of eclipse season, we tend to get hyper-focused on our weakest energy to empower ourselves. But the energy here is talking about, you know, you don't maybe have the full picture. So don't jump to conclusions. Make sure you get your facts straight before taking action, or you know, impulsive energy where you really regret it later. We have a karmic space of the ego. Yeah, the ego can really get you in a lot of trouble. Like that's when, you know, like a bat out of hell, like thinking, oh yeah, I'm smarter than God. I'm gonna go with the devil, and I'm going to, you know, outsmart God. Probably that's not a good idea, because judgment is coming in. And so this is talking about the judgment of the universe and of God. And this is about putting things back in order. This is talking about the cosmic heart energy and not being in order. And then we have the Libra energy, which is talking about being mature. And so a lot of times when we get into relationships and we're, you know, commitments, especially in romantic love and that, we have a tendency to be maybe not mature enough to make that kind of decision of who we're going to marry, and understanding what the commitment really means to raise a family. After you have your first baby, when you have your first baby, you realize, holy, this is going to be a lot of work. And you love them dearly, but it is like totally going to change your life when you have, when you bring a baby into the world and you start a family, and there's no manual, so you have to figure it out. And you probably are like, sometimes there's some days where it can be very challenging. We have the Hangman. So this is when you're on your journey and you're starting like this new, oh, there you are. Did you wake up and find out I was doing a reading without you? She likes to sit on my lap. She sits and purrs. A cat's purr brings the vibration up. It's very healing. So she's got happy feet now, and she's wearing good paws. Okay, you lay down now. You can sit here and you can purr, but don't be bothersome. Okay, good girl. All right, she's insulted that I started without her. So we have the Hierophant under the Hierophant. So this is again saying judgment is being brought in on the spiritual realm. The spiritual court is in session, and that's going to come down to the physical. We have the Magician. And so the Magician is the saying this energy is meant for God's plan. Not the devil's plan. That's the judgment is on that. So if you're on the right path, this will be regarding love, basically here, the King of Love. And so the heartbreak of any situation, again, rejection is God's protection in many cases. We have justice coming in. So justice is also for the ancestors as well as for us. And it's talking, maybe they've been waiting a long time. So that's why they're cheering on the other side. But it can cause a lot of skeletons to come out of the closet. So it can be really a lot to handle. And that's what we're seeing a lot here. Surrendering to God's plan. And this is, it's cold in here. There must be something in the atmosphere. When our loved ones try to get in touch with us from across the veil, quite often we'll feel like a cold breeze in the room, and that is their energy. Or we'll wake up from a dream and like we're dreaming about them, but it seems very real, because that's the way that they quite often will communicate with us. The Chariot energy, it's emphasizing again that the Chariot is already moving, it's on its way. And if you're on your destined path, this justice is going to work in your favor. And if you're not on the destined path, well, then you're going to finally reap the karma, that the debt for your bloodline. And so you could end up paying the price for your ancestors because they didn't clean up their shift before they left, basically. Trauma Queen. Yeah, hold the life's a slice, hold the drama. This is, really being in this energy right now where there's a lot of drama out there, and there's been a lot of people traumatized, and it's caused a lot of really volatile energies and real, ruined people's lives just so that people could make money, basically. And also having that power and feeling like empowered by it, that kind of energy. Yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. People can have good intentions and still end up being in this energy. It happens. These karmic spaces, we're all very easily fall into these, quite easily. And that's why it's important at this time to really be in an energy where you're very as calm as you can be, so that you can make strong choices and not make judgments and impulsive actions that you really regret later. We have also, this is talking about spiritual and physical karma coming in, or justice coming in. So this is, we're talking about spiritual warfare right here. It's basically, that's why it's so intense right now. And so this is about giving yourself total permission to follow your authentic desires, which are when you're plugged into your heart and you have a disciplined mind and you discipline your emotions and you're moving forward on God's plan. And it takes a lot of patience, basically. That's what this is saying. Like, this is not an easy journey. This is a very challenging time for humanity. Right outside the window, all of a sudden there's sirens here, down the street. And that's the kind of energy. So just, it requires patience and devotion to staying on your path. And, you're going to have those moments. Remember that challenges quite often are possibilities in disguise. And so even though this is a real trying time to be on the planet at this time, it is really basically all about love here. And this is about staying in your heart chakra. So falling and failing in love is basically a matter of I. It's about keeping your heart open and seeing the good in the world, as because it's really easy to get caught up in all this energy and just feel like the whole world's gone to shift, but it hasn't. There's a lot of good in the world. There's a lot of good people standing up for other people right now. it's saying keep your heart chakra open, but be very discerning of the information, and have patience, because this is playing out. This is quite a few decades, and in some cases, maybe a century or more of, could be centuries of energy coming out. And it's being, we're the ones that are dealing with it at this time for some reason in this moment in humanity. So it's a very amazing time, really, with all this information coming out and all the adjustments that humanity is making at this time. So hang in there if you're feeling it. Go for a walk, get out in nature, see the beauty of all that has been created on this beautiful planet, and then, take a deep breath, and things, change, for the better, as long as you stay in that strength and keep your heart open to the love that's in the world, not just all this negative energy. So if you've enjoyed this reading, please do give it a like and comment. It really does empower me to build my channel. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so, and I will be back with another daily tarot reading for you tomorrow. Bye for now.